My name is Ti Lim, and I am the co-founder and Chief Operating Officer of Shopmatic. I'm really excited to be here today to share with you a little bit about my background and also a little bit about my career journey. I'm from New Zealand and I studied commerce at the University of Auckland. I subsequently moved here to Singapore and I have a keen interest in e-commerce and I spend a lot of my time online. My career journey really started when I joined the financial services sector. Specifically, I started in branch banking and then moving on to various departments of the bank. It was really here that I got the opportunity to learn what it means to work in a big corporation. And I think that those learnings, while it felt restrictive in those times, has subsequently helped me think about how I wanted to build the infrastructure of Shopmatic as we grew. After leaving the banking sector, I joined the fintech and payment space in a company called PayPal. And this was absolutely mind-blowing for me because a company like PayPal is a tech company, and the idea of speed and scalability is so different here. So it took a lot of learning, a lot of time learning, and I leaned on my colleagues to really teach me what it meant to be working in a company that was so different to anything that I had experienced in my background previously. It was in PayPal that I met my co-founders. We spent a lot of time in understanding merchant behavior and buyer behavior across the markets that we served, and we subsequently decided that we wanted to create a venture of our own. Today, Shopmatic is over 6.5 years old, and we have approximately 100 employees across the markets that we serve. We are in the e-commerce, marketplace aggregation, and POS software industry, and we're across Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and India, and will continuously expand on those markets. As we are in the tech, digital, and e-commerce space, it is an incredibly fast-changing environment, and there is a lot of excitement with that. But it also means that our responses to that environment has also got to be equally, if not faster. An example of this was the introduction of cloud technology quite a few years back. Now, cloud technology has allowed us to deploy our products to multiple markets in a very short space of time, for example, but it has also allowed us to build the organization in a very virtual way because we have access to all of our information and be able to operate virtually. Hence, our teams are virtual and they can permanently be so. It also means that buyer behavior and seller behavior changes very quickly as well. So a few years ago, chat selling and social selling was introduced to the market, and it was only in the last year or so that it really became now the norm. And this transformation had taken a very short space of time, and our responses to this in ensuring that we have the feedback loop, that we are able to be 2 steps ahead of the game, becomes crucial. So changing trends within the industry is something that we are very conscious of all the time, just because we happen to be in this particular type of industry. For those of you who are starting out early in your career, my advice to you is to try out as many things as possible to figure out what is it that you enjoy and what you like. Don't give yourself the pressure of what you are expecting this to become years from now. You might not be able to see that far down the line. What my experience tells me is that people are moving away from structured roles and linear growth. Instead, they are looking at what makes them happy and the possibility of doing multiple things all at once. So for example, you can be a writer as well as a yoga instructor, as well as a jewelry maker all at once, right? You don't necessarily have to choose anymore. So the only recommendation that I can make is that you remember to invest in your personal brand in every single interaction, because that personal brand of yours is what is going to follow you, throughout your entire career, whether you chose to specifically follow that career line or not. The first is that I feel you become your thoughts. So watch what you're thinking and how you think it. It is far more important to think about your dreams, think about what you want in your life, and to set out goals to achieve those. The second is for you to learn to be clear and direct, because it's a skill that is underrated and important to get right, especially when you have a growing organization and people are depending on you for that direction. The third is to surround yourself in an environment that is positive. Someone or a group of people or a space that you can freely share your ideas, your feelings without being judged is incredibly important for your personal growth. So I hope that these learnings will also be helpful to you.